We serve a Lord and a Savior who spent the majority of his life in the tiny little agricultural community of Nazareth and who was shaped there.
When a church exists in an area where there are less than 200 people per square mile, it's considered rural.
Good morning.
There are about 20,000 United Methodist rural congregations in the U.S., more than 60% of the denomination in the States. Despite these significant numbers, a 2010 survey revealed that rural church members often feel unheard and misunderstood. At the same time, they believe they have been and continue to be the backbone of the church. Availability of local clergy and having attractive and inviting facilities are among the most highly rated strengths, and many express great pride in fulfilling 100% of their apportionments. But the survey also reveals challenges. Recruiting and retaining qualified pastors is a central concern. Churches express frustration that worship resources are designed for large churches, and rural churches indicate significant struggles caused by the economic downturn in the U.S. Jeremy Troxler is director of the Thriving Rural Communities Initiative at Duke University. The program aims to strengthen rural churches.
The story that's often told about rural communities is a story of loss, of grief, and of scarcity, of jobs that have gone away, of factories that have closed.
But blogger Bill Kemp, an authority on the rural church, says these country congregations are alive and well, even though many draw less than 50 people on a Sunday morning.
When I look at the Bible, I don't see any number given as to what the size of a congregation should be. We have had a history of thinking that the average United Methodist Church is 150 in worship. What we fail to realize is that the average congregation is 51.
Kemp creates resources for small churches and participates in the United Methodist Rural Fellowship. He says the larger church needs to do more to equip and embrace rural churchgoers.
So instead of looking at it and saying, oh, we have this problem, how does the rural church support the structure? We should be saying, how do we provide the gospel and the sacraments in every community?
Programs designed to build partnerships will help, says Kemp.
At the General Board of Global Ministries, we now have a rural and urban network department. There are many things where the rural church has discovered by its length of existence how to solve certain problems. And now urban churches are facing some of those same issues.
Many rural churches solve staffing concerns by finding homegrown and often part-time pastors who are established in the community. Jerry Pulaski is a retired steelworker who now leads the 55-member Bairdford United Methodist Church in Pennsylvania.
I got into ministry to become involved with people's lives, the important things of their lives, their baptisms, their marriages, their funerals, and you're certainly there for all of that, but the real joy, I think, is also in just living life with them.
Kemp says that celebrations of life events within a community are what rural churches are built on and what will sustain the United Methodist Rural Church in the future.
50 years ago, each of these crossroads communities had a store, they had a post office, they had some type of grange or other agricultural organization. They may have had an agway or a feed store. And they had a United Methodist Church. Today, the store is long gone. The grange may have fallen apart. The agway has moved to somewhere else. And the post office is talking about leaving. And we still have the United Methodist Church. Everyone in town owns this church. People will know, yes, when so-and-so passed away, I went to the funeral that the pastor did, and then we went to dinner at the church basement, and they served us with love. Now, whether or not a person acts upon that by coming to worship is not the point. I think we are meant to be in ministry.